Okay, this is part two of Old Rag Mountain Loop Trail. Um, I'm going to assume at this point that everybody's already gone to the Hiking Upward website and gone to the map PDF. I've taken my screen capture of it already using Snagit, and I'm going to now go to the part where to this, what is this, step, we're going to be at step 22, 23, and going to add the image and georeference it after downloading. Actually, I'm going to download the Shenandoah National Park boundary first from ArcGIS Online through the portal. To do this, you have to be logged in. Okay, so here we go. Um, get a map here. Go into catalog. A lot of people like to go. I mean, you can go to add data. I I don't know why this doesn't seem to be as straightforward as simply go into catalog. And in catalog, you can just go to portal and then click on all portal, the one that's just a cloud, and then search for Shenandoah National Park. And you want to include the underscores. All right, and when you do this, something new happens. You'll see Shenandoah National Park boundary 2019. Um, it's a great it's a great feature because it's extremely accurate and detailed, much more detailed than the one we need. And in this case, it's too detailed. You're better off using the one down here, just called Shenandoah National Park boundary. The reason is the boundary in this layer will match the boundary in the image you're trying to georeference. So I'm going to add that to the map. In this case, I'm just going to leave it green. There's really no reason to turn that off. It helps everybody see it. And here's Old Rag Mountain. It sits off of the park, a big blob of granite that was deep in the earth. And you'll notice if I zoom in a bit here, there's this point right here at the boundary and another point. They're pointing at each other. Those are important. Those are the ones we're going to use in this georeferencing exercise. Okay. All right. I'm going to uncheck. I'm going to uncheck the study area. I got rid of the border around the study area, and I'm going to get rid of the elevation layer because it's helpful to have some some of the base map here. And now I'm going to add the in catalog, go back to project, and then folders, and I made this image old rag. This is my screen capture. Now, if for some reason you don't see it and you think you're pretty sure you put it in there, or you know you put it in that folder, then you just need to update the folder. Just do a refresh on it. Okay, right click and add it to the current map. Now, this is important. If you try to, you can't see it yet, but you will see it in a moment. But if you don't add a non-georeferenced image to the map, you won't. Your georeferencing tools will be grayed out. It actually has to sense. The software has to sense that there's an ungeoreferenced object in the uploaded. So to do this, we go to imagery, and you'll see that here's georeference, and we can use it. But if we had not first put in this image, this JPEG of the trail map, that would be grayed out. So it's important to put the image in first. Okay, then, so let's see. I'm now at I just finished step 25. And making sure that it's highlighted in the table of content. I'm first going to zoom in a little bit because this is the area I want to work in, those 2 points. And I think that's a good extent right there, so I can still see these 2 points. You'll see why they're important in a second. So now I'm going to click georeference, and Then I'm going to click Fit to Display. Now, what is it going to fit to display? It's fitting this image that you've highlighted. If you don't highlight that image, it won't fit anything to the display. It needs to, you need to highlight the ungeoreferenced image. Okay, there they are. So here you might notice there's this bend right here in the park boundary. This is the one in the JPEG. There's this sharp bend and a point right there, and a point over here. Those are the same points that you saw. Turn that off a minute. Those are these 2 points. So that's why they're so important. Now the next thing you do is you add control points, and here's the key. You must add the control points by clicking in the map for in the photograph or the JPEG of the old map first, and then you would click in the same location in your base in your park boundary. Why do you do that? Because the park boundary is already georeferenced. It has the georeference that we want. So we're going to click what's called the from point from this corner down here to this corner. Okay, that's always the way it is. And there are some other weird things that can happen if you make, I can't really get into it here, it would just be too much to describe. But there are some mistakes that can be made that are best handled on a case-by-case basis. So just try to be careful so you don't run into any issues. All right, so I'm going to click on Add Control Points, and I'm going to zoom in. Think about it this way: if you don't zoom in, then your click may be meters from where it's supposed to be, hundreds of feet from where it's supposed to be. But if you zoom in a little bit, then you're reducing how far off the target you'll be. It's hard to see this because it's a little bit pixelated, but you want to click right in that corner, the black line, not the red. And then I like to turn off the old image, the old rag trail image, so I can see what's here. And see how that's jumping on there? That's because I have snapping turned on. It's handy. It'll go boop, drop it right on the exact spot. And then now they're lined up really well. Okay. Now again, if I click right now, it's going to drop another from point. I don't want to do that. So if I hold down the C key, you notice it turns into a hand. I'm holding down letter C, and I'm going to drag it over to where that other line is. Okay, so now what I'll do, I'm going to turn this off and see if I can hunt for it. Okay, there it is. See this one right here. This point right here is the same one as this one. So once again, I click the from point, which is in the image we're trying to georeference. And then I turn off the image so I can see it here better. And there they go. Perfect. Okay, and if you're lucky, you get it in 2 clicks. Okay, just be careful and you can. So hit save, and you've saved your georeferencing, but we haven't gotten out of the tool yet. Notice it would still add control points, and I think some people made a mistake here. It's still adding control points unless you quit this. All you've done is save your work to this point. Okay, to close it and tell it you're done, you click Close Georeference. Okay, and then all those markings go away and it's finished. Now you have a georeferenced map. Your image is georeferenced.